Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Governance and Nominating Committee meeting for the CEDC, May 13th. We'll kick it off with approval for the consent agenda. If everyone's read, if there are no edits and they are approved.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. Moving on to board candidates. Who wants to, Jim, do you want to lead up the discussion of board candidates? Or should we talk about how many places we have at the moment? I know we talked about adjusting the total number of board members.
Okay, sure. First, for those who hadn't heard, Christian Lopez has resigned. He was on the board for a year, but with various health challenges and other things, he wasn't able to attend very many meetings, and apologize to the board for that. And perhaps when things settle down, he'll be in a better position to serve if we're interested in entertaining his nomination again. So that's an open seat. The seat that was occupied by Mike Malinsky is an open seat. I think there's a third vacancy. It was from Rich Nesbitt. So there are three vacancies that we need to fill. I don't have any individuals to recommend this time. If you do, please make grateful aware, and we'll see if we get those spots filled. Under the bylaws, we have 17 seats that are not for ex officio members. So the people who are automatically in, the president of the college, the executive director of the workforce board, and so forth, they're automatically in. The rest of us are within that 17, and with between people occasionally not being able to make meetings and those vacancies we have are and a quorum of 9 under the bylaws. We very often are sweating it to get a quorum at a board meeting or a committee meeting. And I wondered if there would be merit in considering reducing that from 17 to 15, which would make the quorum 8 rather than 9, which is only one seat, but would make a really big difference in some of our quorum seeking scenarios.
Yeah, well, how many times have we had a quorum of 1? That it makes a difference.
It seems like a smart thing. Seems like we're trying to bring people in who are the right fit, which might take a little longer also. And because I know it's taken a while even just to fill one, because we've lost some.
Sure.
So it seems like the smart thing to do in the meantime. If we find more board members or it builds up, then we could always change it back, right?
And the procedure for doing that is if the committee wanted to recommend reducing the number of, they're called independent members of the board from 17 to 15. We just recommend it to the board and the board would vote. I'm not sure exactly how soon that would take effect though, because
I just was looking, so what would happen is you could amend the bylaws with a 2/3 majority vote of the directors. And then any amendments will be ratified by the membership at the next meeting. So I take that as you can proceed now, like if you voted next month.
Okay.
It would just be subject to ratification, but that suggestion obviously.
And that would just be a vote by the full board at the next board meeting?
With the members at the annual meeting.
The annual meeting.
So would that mean we'd only need to get 1 additional board member to complete the board? Since we're down, if it's 17 and we're down 3, so we're at 14, we'd have to get 1 to get up to 15.
Correct.
What's the downside of it, Mike?
I defer to Lisa because I think,
What's
getting,
the upside, Lisa?
well,
It's easier to get a quorum?
There's an update.
I think we've discussed it, and it could be
Yeah.
harder to get a
It,
quorum.
sometimes it really depends on everybody's schedules. You
Yeah.
don't, you never really know. People have things happening and they don't expect it. It's not.
They,
like
You know,
ahead
we're
of
certainly much better off than we were initially because you could end up having 3 people vote under the previous bylaws. And and also, a quorum was based on the number of seats filled, not the number of existing seats. So it was a floating quorum. But I think, you really don't want to do that again, for transparency purposes, because you could conceivably whittle the board down to 6 and, have 3 or 4 people deciding things. I think it's 6 to 1, half dozen to the other, come up with a really old
Maybe one.
cliche. But.
Was there any, I don't know that we know this, was there any thought to why 17 was the number? I mean, was there a reason? Or was it just arbitrary?
I'm sure they had a reason.
It
I
should be an
doubt
odd
that I
number.
could find it.
Or-
'Cause
I mean,
it
it
goes
seems
back to
like
the
a large number.
1900s.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's worth trying. You can always
Change it back.
adjust it, but I think the difficulty has been finding people. It's a big commitment between the committee meetings and the once-a-month meetings, and we certainly appreciate all of the time each of you provide and guidance you give us in those hours, but and you don't want to just put people on because you have empty seats.
So I'll make a motion that the committee recommends to the board that it reduce the number of independent members on the board from 17 to 15.
Yep, so that needs to be ratified at the next full
Yeah,
annual
But it would
meeting.
take effect
At the annual.
immediately. It would take effect on approval of the full board. And it doesn't require that that change be approved by the membership prior to its enactment.
Okay.
It would only have to ratify it after the fact.
So next spring, we would ratify.
And if we didn't like it,
Or
we
not.
change it and.
Because you have time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or do we wait,
Well,
or do we wait to make the recommendation because we have time and?
No, I think you want
Or
to
no,
find
we
out.
do it now.
Well, it gets us around, it's 3 versus 1 new,
Yeah.
we just have to find 1 new person.
well, and that's the other thing. The other benefit is you're not bumping someone off. Because you have all these vacancies, it's a logical
Yeah,
time.
it's
to-
the right
If we're
time
gonna
to
do
do
it,
And
now's
it
the
provides
time
a,
to do it.
honestly, in addition to quorum, let's be honest, there has been a little bit of a struggle.
Mhm.
I mean, if we were to look over the roster,
Yeah.
right, Lisa, over the last 3 years, how many times have we had a full roster of candidates? So that almost.
Yeah,
And the other thing
More
is,
than
if
several.
next
You know?
January or February, you don't think it's working, you change it and you don't
Right.
ratify it.
Right. I'll second Jen's recommendation.
okay, all those in favor? Anyone opposed?
No.
So carried. Good job. Take it, yeah.
Get the front here.
So just to finish out that discussion, board candidates. We don't, since Gary, I mean, that was pretty recent, Gary was pretty recent, so, we don't have anyone right now. In the past, we've talked about representing other towns in the county. I think that's a challenge. I think that's a challenge. I know people in other towns, but they would not be right board members, so when I go through my network of people, they're not the right, fit for the board. So maybe the right board candidates, regardless of what town they're from, or maybe
We could.
Hudson is there's so much business in Hudson that.
We could update the chart that shows people's geographic location and professional experience.
Yeah.
And get that to you for the next meeting.
Please, that'd be great.
Or we'll get it to you for the board meeting
Mhm.
and ask the full board to look for people to recommend to the committee.
Sounds good. Thank you.
On this topic, has Gary got any of the committees yet?
He's on the loan committee.
But would he be the right fit for this committee as well?
Mm,
Due to his investigative powers?
Yeah, his HR skills and experience.
I mean, I don't know that he would even be interested.
We can explore it.
We did, when we were interviewing, ask him if he was available for 3 meetings.
That's
And I think we were thinking 2
Yeah.
committees for him, since he's so close.
And he also is a designated hitter in as much as his office is down the stairs.
Yeah.
And if a committee is short of,
Yeah.
people for a quorum, if he's not doing anything, he can come up and participate in the meeting.
Yeah.
And our bylaws provide that, once a quorum is met, even if you went back downstairs, we have a quorum. Just come up for 10 seconds.
So do we ask him first? Do we make a motion and,
Yeah, let's
Recommend it?
ask him first.
okay,
He's away this week. Right?
Yeah.
Because he's not gonna be able to make the loan meeting. You want me to talk to him? You want to talk to him?
either way,
I'll
you let me know
I'll talk
what
to
you
him.
want.
then. Yeah,
Okay, you'll
I'll talk
talk
to him
to
when
him.
he gets back. Okay.
Any other issues regarding board candidates and members
No, I
or,
can think
no?
of,
We covered everything?
I think so.
It's fine. Lisa?
I think not really.
Okay.
We have to recommend a new secretary.
Yes, we do.
No, we did
We
not
did
do
that,
that.
yeah.
When did we do that?
We should vote on that today.
Okay. Does anyone have a recommendation for, replacing the empty secretary position?
The acting secretary's doing a pretty good job so far. Right?
He's signed by.
Yes. Seems like it's business as usual, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So, how do we go about filling that? Does someone need to make a recommendation?
to The full board.
Okay.
From this committee.
All right, so I'll make a motion that Rachel Levine be
Myself,
elected, appointed
okay,
as our
okay,
full
I'll take it,
secretary.
if there's a second.
I second that.
You know how to say I accept, you know how to say I accept in Latin?
I don't remember, but yeah, I would get the tense wrong. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. So that will come up at the full board meeting. Okay. Sarah, I'll see you at another meeting. Okay, bylaw review, Andy, are you and Mike taking that? I know, I
Well,
see
what I
nothing in
was
our
gonna-
packet.
What I was gonna suggest was we had those bylaw changes that we were still contemplating, so what I can do is add in the change in the
From today.
membership and we'll just do all of it.
That one.
Okay,
So at the next meeting, would we do a review?
Well, we could, I mean, I would say we've already reviewed it before,
Yeah.
so we would just review it at the. full
With the
board.
edit.
There's really it's a lot of like just small typographical things that we were cleaning up and then obviously
So we can put it in.
number of members.
That'll be in the
And I
agenda
have
for
it
the
right
full
on.
board meeting and then we'll all
Yeah.
vote on it. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
there's like 3 things in it. so
And then
we can
that's
do it.
all gets ratified next spring.
Exactly.
Okay, so nothing more on that staffing update.
Oh, you know, we're doing well, I don't know if many of you know that we were awarded $1 million from the SBA for additional loans. We're waiting on the SBA to tell us how much of the grant they're going to give us to administer that $1 million and the ongoing program. You know, we're confident that we will receive the grant, we just don't know the amount. Generally, the award was based on how many loans you did the previous year, and we are currently at $260,000 a year. and we did more loans than we did the year that we were awarded that amount. So we're optimistic. They did ask us to submit all of the required information for the grant, including the resumes of each of the staff people that are involved. And so we are confident at this point that we're moving forward with their process to be awarded a grant. Normally we would know by this time because the current grant expires on June 30th. I think the entire staff worked extremely hard on moving forward the annual meeting. I thought it was a great success. Riley Werner did the bulk of the work. And Lisa completed all of the Paris reporting, not only for CEDC, but for the county IDA and the Capital Resource Corporation, as well as involved with filing the state Paris report for the Hudson IDA. We continue to be very busy. Martha and Steve are in the throes of awarding the next round of micro enterprise grants, which is a $300,000 grant that the county received and has us administering it. We can provide up to $25,000 to a business who's been in business less than 2 years and who has less than 5 employees, including the 5 employees or less, including the owner. There was a 4-week course that had to be provided. Andy graciously participated as one of the instructors. I believe if the last class isn't tomorrow night, I know I signed the graduation certificates, but I think it's tomorrow night. We would then go ahead and advance those grants to those businesses. We will get a $25,000 fee for managing that program. You'll recall the first round of funds that we received, we were oversubscribed. And rather than tell one person they weren't going to get money and have them concerned because there was no way to really differentiate them from the others, we waived that fee and gave the grant to the recipient. I think Chris is doing very well with the affordable housing initiatives. We do have 154 unit proposed apartment project in Greenport, the project that Redburn had initially initiated, but then it was because of COVID and other issues with the then town assessor. It got delayed to a point where they withdrew from it. It's a partnership between Kempner out of White Plains and Baxter out of Poughkeepsie. Baxter is the construction manager of the project. Behind us, they would be a construction manager and partner in the project in Greenport. They did bring their project to the county IDA. It's a $52 million project. There are issues with respect to negotiating the payment in lieu of tax agreement they proposed. But it would bring the IDA a $520,000 fee. And right now, the county IDA owes us almost 2 years of fees based on the fact that they haven't done a project in several years. And their cash balances had gotten to a point where we agreed to defer that fee. So that's a very positive sign. There's several projects moving forward that I've been working on with the city IDA. We're also working on a project in Chatham on property owned by Francis Greenberger with the town and others that would could be up to a 250 unit housing project over 7 years. So there's a lot going on, and we are down one person, but I think until we get a better sense of what the grant is going to be for the loan program, we're kind of we're using a couple pickup baseball people on a freelance basis to fill in here and there, but it's a much smaller commitment than what a full-time staff person was. So I think we're doing pretty well. Any objections? Kat, Riley, Lisa? We don't have a majority of you here, so. But I think things are going well. We're really busy, but it's exciting.
Okay. Do we have any other business to discuss? Members of the committee and anything that hasn't been covered off? No? A light load today. So, I guess I'll.
The state will be releasing, the consolidated funding application guidelines, in the next several weeks. There's a regional council meeting next week in Albany, where I suspect it will be, released, and then we'll have till mid-July or the end of July to work with, applicants, who, are looking to get state grants, so we'll be marketing that information.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.